understand it. Or if it's taken. But you can elaborate on that, and I understand that you always also need to set up some digital advice because you stream this on the internet to some of your followers. Is that right, Paul?
That is correct. So what I'm setting up is a program called Periscope. And I would encourage you guys to check this out. It's a live broadcast program. And it's really awesome. And the reason I say that, because in the dealership, you could use this to demo vehicles. It's a program that Twitter developed. And so we've got people joining us right now there. And then did you start the broadcast there? And then we're using Google On Air. But here's the question. Are you guys, do you have brain overload? Yeah, who's got brain overload? Nobody? Well, let's do this. Let's get a little energized and let's thank Thomas and Frederick for what they've done. So guys, stand up. Let's give them a hand because everything is fun. Who's ready to talk about making money? Come on. Who's ready to talk about making money?
I am.
So I read that the Danish culture is very reserved, very quietly like that, but for some reason I don't believe that. Is that true? No. So who's ready to talk about making money today? Yes. Okay, all right, I'll give you that. Well, I'm supposed to be talking about, as you've seen in the brochures, what can Danish dealers learn from the U.S. And last night we went to dinner and had a great dinner with Thomas and Frederick and my wife, Christy. And we talked about the industry. We talked a lot about the industry. And I'm sorry, Thomas, you probably want to me now. Because then I got back to the room and I said, I want to do a new presentation. We're still going to talk about what's happening in the U.S., but I want to talk about what we can learn from a dreamer. Because I don't care if you're first generation, second generation, third generation, it all started with a dream. Would you agree with that? And while technology's changed, and the industry's changed, everything has changed. But again, if you're third generation, second generation, think about the trials and the tribulations that your dad had to go through, your grandfather had to go through. It just seemed impossible. And then you've heard some really interesting things today. I mean, for example, it's the first time I've actually seen an economist that had a great sense of humor. Did it work out for him? Doing the economy and everything? The guy could be a stand-up. I didn't understand a word he said, but he had me laughing for some reason. And then you had the other guy that was talking, kind of talking about 3D printing and all this and great technology and all these wonderful things. But I'm going to give you a different perspective. I'm going to give you a perspective where I came from, that I grew up in the dealership. I grew up with my dad in fixed ops. And there's one thing that's never going to change, is the passion that we have for the automobile. Yeah, there's going to be self-driving vehicles and all that. They're already here. But it's not going to replace the dealership. The importer, the manufacturers need you guys to move the vehicle. Because when you purchase a vehicle, it's a very emotional. People get emotionally attached to the vehicle. The beautiful thing about the world is there's so many different types of people. And granted, some people don't take the enjoyment of driving. But most of us do. If you don't believe me, just go look at the magazine rack. How many magazines are there out there talking about the automobile? There's hundreds. How many shows are focused on a vehicle? What about Top Gear? Anybody here watch Top Gear? I love it. Look at that. And people love that show. And it's all about the automobile. And electric cars, you won't catch me driving one because I love the sound of the exhaust. Maybe I'm a freak show. Because I sit on YouTube, my wife can tell you this, because not only do I love cars, I love motorcycles, and I'll Google, what is the exhaust sound of blank? Then I want to hear the different numbers. True story. And I must be one of many other freak shows Because I look at the views of people listening to the little burble of the exhaust, and there's hundreds of thousands of those views. Go to YouTube. If you want to really feel inspired, go to YouTube and search the vehicles that you're selling, and look at the hundreds of thousands of searches. Those are the very people watching those videos that we're selling those vehicles to. So tell me that they're not passionate about the automobile. You guys are here to stay for a long time. But things have changed, and they're going to continue to change. I mean, things that we were doing 5 years ago, we don't even do today. Think about the jobs that have been created because of the internet. So many new jobs have been created due to the internet. So do we have to progress? Do we have to change our style? Do we have to change our process? Most definitely we do. But isn't that what makes fun? Isn't that what's enjoyable about being an entrepreneur? Isn't that the dream? It most definitely is. And one of the hardest things to do is change. I know in our agency, well, we've been through some people. We've lost some people, a lot of people, because they weren't ready for change. They couldn't take the change that is needed. That's okay, we didn't need them. Because if they're not willing to change, I don't want them. Because that's what makes our economy prosper, is change. And then while it seems really painful and it seems scary, you got to do it. And you only become more and more profitable. So today I want to talk about a dreamer. I want to talk about a friend of mine. And let's make sure this works. I thought it would work. So real quick, a lot of you guys heard this morning, but I'll talk about who I am. I have an agency in New York. We're the second largest in North America when it comes to dealer spend. And I know half of you already heard this, but our facility is 27,000 square feet, drive-in video studio. We provide everything for a dealer, from building websites, to doing digital marketing, to doing radio, TV, newspaper, billboard, graphic design, consulting, training. Anything a dealership needs to be successful, that's what we do. And the reason that we brought it all in-house to offer all of those services is because we love to feel challenged. We love the way the industry has changed over the years. And I started the industry in 1982. And I was a guy that was moving the cars from the front lot. Oh, now it's trucks, now it's cars. And then I was in the body shop. Then I was in fixed ops. Then I was in parts. But I always loved marketing. And the reason I love marketing is because if you understand the psychology of an individual, you can build a marketing strategy and talk to them. Just like the last speaker where he talked about build it for the user. And I talked about that earlier. Everything you do should be focused on the shopper, the user. And if you do that, you'll get more leads, you'll get more traffic, and you'll sell more. But it's about being a dreamer. I had a dream to build an agency, and that's what I've done. It's just started with me. But now, like I said, we're the second largest when it comes to dealer spend. But I'm going to introduce you to another dreamer. I'm going to introduce you to Don. Don Boyle is definitely a dreamer. And he was in Charleston, South Carolina. Population is only 172,000, a single point dealership, a Honda dealership. But before that, before he ended up in Charleston, South Carolina, he was in Galveston, Texas. And he was just a general sales manager. And I don't mean he was just, but he was frustrated. He hated his job. He wanted out. He was going to get out of the industry. And the whole reason that is because his general manager was stuck in a rut. His general manager, that's the way we did it yesterday, that's the way we did it 10 years ago, that's the way we did it 20 years ago, and that's the way we're going to continue to do it. And he's seen the opportunities. He's seen the possibility. So he started to quit. They said, no, come back in, because he's a process-driven guy. So they reworked his pay plan. Then he started to quit again, and they reworked his pay plan. But then he started to quit a third time. And they said, well, Don, how about we give you your own store? If you become a general manager, we're going to put you in Charleston, South Carolina. Granted, it's no Houston, it's no Dallas, it's no major market by any stretch of the imagination. He said, that's fine, I'll do it. So he had a dream. He goes to this store, this Honda store, really run down. It was a dump. This store was known as the store you go to if you want to pay more than any other Honda dealer. True. This store was hidden behind palm trees because some architect came in and thought it would be really pretty to have a bunch of palm trees lying in front of the lot. So you couldn't see the cars, you couldn't see the store. He had a lot of, I'm going to put in his words, deadbeats that worked there, and they didn't want to change. Not only his managers didn't want to change, his service riders didn't want to change, didn't have an internet department. Nobody wanted to change. And they said, here, take this job, but don't let anybody go. So he wasn't really able to make change, or so he thought. So it took him time to get people to buy in the way he wanted to do it. Again, he's a process-driven guy. He's all about process. We're going to talk about him. Here's Don and his two brothers on the top. There's his family. He's trying to teach his kid how to log in up in the CRM now. And then there he is with his wife. Just a normal guy. That's all it is. But he had the dream, and he got this opportunity to run the store. I'm going to show you some of the processes, some of the things that we went through on this store. Because he called me up, he's all excited. I remember the day he called me. Because I met this guy 2 years prior when he was in Texas. And he kept on talking about the dream and the things he was wanting to do. He was like a mini entrepreneur. He was constantly getting this and getting that and doing this and doing that. And he wasn't making any money. But he was just so excited, so enthusiastic about everything he did. He said, here's an opportunity. I've got this really great opportunity. I'm going to Charleston, South Carolina. I'm going to be able to run this store. You'll be able to build the marketing strategy. I'll be able to build the process for the fixed ops department. I'll be able to build the process for an internet department. I was like, you got an internet department? He said, no. He's like, okay, well, that's fine. I'll be able to get sales managers do the process the way I want it done. We'll be able to really do it. And I said, well, how's that going to work? How's your pay plan? He goes, well, it's like this. The way they did my pay plan, because they pulled us back, and he's part of the Hendrick organization, which is over 85 stores in the United States, one of the largest privately owned groups. He says, my pay plan is a beautiful pay plan. If I'm able to hit these numbers, I'll make $400,000 for the year. Like, okay, that sounds pretty good. But I don't want to do that. I'm like, what do you mean you want to do that? I want to make $500,000 for the year. Now, do you think it's doable? Well, yeah, I've got the process. You got the marketing, right? I said, well, do you have the budget? He said, well, how much we need? I said, I don't know. It's Charleston, South Carolina. Nobody really lives there. They all go to the beach. And the people that live in Charleston, South Carolina, I don't know if anybody lives in Charleston, South Carolina, but it's a lot of PT cruisers and senior citizen women there trying to pick up the golfers. Hey, that's really all it is. People don't find Hondas there. And then where it's not senior citizen women and the PT cruisers, it's the rednecks driving the pickup trucks. And that's your choice. And we're going to sell Hondas. So anyway, so here's God. And I'm here to tell you this is the best time, absolutely, positively, the best time to be in the business that you're in. And I told him that too, and he said, I believe it. I said, do your managers believe that? He said, hell no. They think everybody coming in just wants to know what the best price is, and they've already trained everybody that, you know, when the lead comes in, they just say, come on in. In fact, we mystery shop them, so we send an email through their website, ask specific information about the Honda Fit, and the salesperson emails back and says, yeah, we got it, call me. I'm confused. No, we ask you specifically, you know, what was the condition, what were the miles? I mean, we asked specific questions, completely avoided it. And then we sent another email, and we said, hey, I got this type of car, I want to trade it in, what will you give me for it? Yeah, we'll take it, call me. So there was no process. But he believed that it was the best time, and trust me, this is the best time, and it's only going to get better and better and better, because you've never had the opportunity to sell outside your market. You've never had the opportunity to talk to more people than you've ever seen before. So you think about it, and we're going to walk through those steps. So here's the question. Are you guys willing to change and adapt? If you are, let me hear you clap. I am proud of you guys. Because most times when I talk about change, I see, oh my God, really seriously, I'm not going to change. What I'm doing is working. What are you doing? You're going to cut into my golf time. So Here we go. So never before can a dealer compete with competition 2 times or more of their size. Never before could you do that. Think about it. Because before, the person knew where the dealership was, they'd go to the dealership, they'd see you know, inventory, and that's it. Where does the person go now? They go to your website. A lot of times, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, like his store, Don's store, was in this market, and it's been there for like 24 years. And people are coming, oh, what you guys open up? I didn't even know you were here. Oh, really? You're around here? Oh, yeah, I grew up around here. I've been here for 45 years. Really? Yeah, I didn't know you guys were here. That's because we took palm trees down. We got Trouble City, but we cut trees down. So one of the things you can do is what's called a virtual inventory. And I'm showing you different dealers. This is a virtual inventory for Minis of Toyota. 486 Toyotas available. Fact or fiction? They do not have 486 vehicles available. What they do have is a virtual inventory. In other words, all of the vehicles are listed on the website, so when somebody submits a lead on the vehicle, and we're very transparent about, hey, call for the availability of this vehicle. It's presently not in stock, but we can transfer this vehicle for you. So this gives them an opportunity to do a dealer trade. So now, this dealership looks much, much larger. Because on average, they have about 120 vehicles in stock. So we've got every trim level, every model that's available. This is the dealer camera. What about Toyota Beasley? Another dealer in South Carolina. Again, and this is the same strategies we follow with Don. So you can see right here, this individual, they're talking about their slogan, their unique selling proposition, which you need a unique selling proposition. Why should I buy from you versus anyone else? So our name means a great deal. Does that mean much? Well, maybe, maybe not, if we keep on using it. And they're supporting the YMCA. What they're doing, for every vehicle sold, they're going to donate $100 to the YMCA. So now we're getting social. We're getting social proof. We're getting social buy-in. We're having the YMCA talk about us now. We're having people that are important, the YMCA is important to them, talk about this. Just one sales individual did this video on an iPhone, and how many people have we reached? In a matter of just a couple of weeks, 1,041 people. That's reach. And this is a small market. This isn't the same market Don's in. So look at the post reach. What we were able to do with the different posts that's going on, we're able to reach 52,752 people. How many people are in that market? Do you remember that number? So a vast majority of the market we're reaching. This creates size. This creates, hey, we're there. This creates your nonprofit's important to us. Things that are important to you, it's important to us. So now we're pulling at the heartstrings and we're showing that we care. We're creating a lot of noise. And that's what part of marketing is. How can I be different? How can I create noise? And if you guys want to follow me on Facebook, follow me on Facebook, because you'll see that I know how to be different, I know how to create noise. What do you think, Thomas? So everything seems impossible until it's done. I don't know how many times did Don would call me up late at night and he's all depressed. What's wrong, buddy? I don't know, this manager's just aren't getting it. They're just telling me I can't do it, we can't do it, we can't do it. It's getting old. I don't understand. I don't understand what they're going to buy in. I want them to be able to make more money. They're not seeing my vision, and they can make more money if they just follow my process. So talking about process, think about businesses that have to have process. If you went to the emergency room, and that emergency room didn't have process, what would happen? People would die. You definitely wouldn't feel comfortable. So think about that. So customers coming to your lot, do they feel like you have process? Do they feel like you're organized? Customers filling in a lead form, do they feel like you have process? Do they feel like you're organized? Agent response time, 15. And these are things you have to look at. 15 minutes or less during business hours is where you want to take it. So here's the point. So don't let anyone tell you it can't be done just because they don't have the drive to do it. And that's often what happens. So what else can we do? Well, dealers can target specific markets for 1/10 the cost. Think about it. If you wanted to reach into another market, what did you have to do? You had to buy radio, TV, newspaper. And then you would sit back and you'd cross your fingers and you'd pray that you weren't spraying. And that's often what happens is we spray and we pray. Because you got to spend the money and say, boy, I hope they like my commercial. I hope that car that I'm advertising in that commercial is lower than anybody else that advertises in that market. It's not, I'm in trouble. And I'm just wasting money. With a digital strategy, you can target that market. And the beauty about digital is you only pay for the performance. When somebody clicks, you pay. It's as simple as that. I mean, imagine being able to run a radio commercial or a TV commercial, and they said, hey, you can run all the commercials you want, and the only time we're going to charge you for that TV commercial is when somebody picks up the phone and calls you. Same for radio. Does that happen? No. So why are we not focused on digital first and foremost? We've already read all the articles. We've already seen all the numbers. I mean, we're living proof. And I talked about that this morning. When was the last time that you went home, turned on the TV, and said, I'm ready to watch the commercials? It doesn't happen. And we don't do that on radio. But we do that on our smartphone. We do that on our laptop. With digital, you're able to target where you can get the highest performance. So if you have a dealer that's asleep at the wheel, in other words, if they're not doing really good with used cars in a specific market, you can say, I want to target in this geo, I want to do a geo fence in this area right here, and I want to focus my used cars. In this area, I want to do new and used. In this market, I want to do new and used. And in this area, in my own backyard, I want to focus on new, used, and service. I mean, doesn't that seem like a better use of ad dollars? So never before could you target a market. So simple. And in fact, you can target a market. You can say, I want to go into this market. I want to do well. And that's what we did with Don. Because he was in that Charleston, South Carolina market, but he had the ability to sell used cars because he had a good selection of used cars that were cheaper used cars. So we did the research and we found out, guess what? Columbia, South Carolina is where we need to target individuals with cheap used cars. So we built a campaign and we had a campaign live in a matter of 2 hours in targeting that area and started to get leads almost instant. When I say instantly, within 24 hours, just by targeting that market. Never before could dealers promote every profit center to an audience that actually wants to know more. So think about that. Radio, TV, newspaper. Can you target individuals specifically? No. Can you target like your after sales specifically to somebody that's interested in that? No. Can you target cheap cars for a person that's more likely to buy a cheap, less expensive car? Can you target somebody that's more likely to want a Honda versus a VW? You cannot do that on traditional, but you can do that on digital. Because everything that you do online is being tracked. While that sounds creepy, it's a very sexy proposition if you're a business owner. So here's a page, creating content on your pages. So here's a page, is your warranty expired or about to expire? You build a page, and now you can target individuals with a digital strategy, individuals where their mileage is getting higher on the vehicle. That's the kind of power, that's the kind of big data that's available that you can target based on how used is that vehicle. When you think about it, a lot of individuals don't even know that they can get an extended warranty on a vehicle. And when they buy a car, and then I don't want to extend the warranty, I don't want to spend money, so you can target and you can start to create money with this one little strategy. What about if you need to buy more used cars? What if you want to increase your used car inventory? Can you go to market and do that? Yes, you can. So here's a landing page that we put together. 7 things you can do to increase the sale price or trading value of your vehicle. Notice we're only asking for the email. We're not asking for first name, last name, address, phone number, firstborn, all that. We just have it very simple. And a person fills this in and says, hey, we're going to tell you how you can increase the trading value of your vehicle, how you can get more off of your vehicle. This is a very non-confrontational page. Individual fills that in, and now the salesperson calls them or sends them an email with, hey, would you be interested in selling me your car for cash even if you don't buy a car from me? Person goes, Yeah, we can talk about that. Or no, I'm planning on getting another car. Oh, what kind of car are you planning on getting? Oh, I'm planning on getting so-and-so. Oh, I can do that. And then if they end up buying a car somewhere else, at least now you have their email address, they opted in, they give you that email address, and now you can send them service coupons. You can get them into your service line. So we've got numerous opportunities just by creating this one page. And then how different is this versus a traditional, in other words, an offline, a radio or a TV or a newspaper, you always have them reinvent the wheel, reinvent the wheel, reinvent the wheel. This is a campaign that will be working for you 24/7. Never before have dealers quickly and easily increased customer inquiries. For you guys, I mean, I looked at a number of the websites. I'm getting ready to show you some things that you can do on your website, that if you do these things, I promise you, your leads will double. When you see these pages, see if you agree with me. So here's your Toyota again. Notice on the home page, Thankful Tuesdays, win free gas. Anybody done anything like that? And then moving down the page, moving across the page, you see we got vehicle detail, we got financing, IRS contact, which is in the top right hand corner. VIP club. Something so simple, just to change the words. People like to feel like a VIP. Now they're giving us their email addresses, so now we're building our email database. So now we're able to talk to them, and you'll see why we want that email address as I get a little further into this. And then notice the vehicle is rotating in and out. It used vehicle right there. It's a featured vehicle. And we're showing what was the price, what is the price. And then we use simple words like get details, go. Instead of making it so difficult. Making the call to actions, those conversion buttons, very simple. Write this down. Ready? The highest converting color. In other words, that gold button, if it was green, it would increase conversion. This is another website. Green is proven to have the highest conversion. In other words, when they see a green button, they click it. Other things you want to do on your website is you want to make sure every image clicks over to something. Because people love to click images. If you haven't done heat mapping and eye tracking technology on your website, see me after this, give me your email address, and I will give you heat mapping and eye tracking technology free. And what that allows you to do is you can see everywhere somebody's clicking on your website, where they came from, how they're interacting, how they're moving on your website during your school. And it shows you a lot of information. This is what Amazon's doing. This is what eBay's doing. It's the same technology that's available to you. All right, notice this page. So notice the page where you can do your searches. Look at the drop down. You want to search by year, make, model, trim, color, body, engine, transmission, drivetrain, payment, price. How do you want to search? Make it easy. The vast majority of websites are so difficult to navigate that it's just confusing. It's difficult. It's painful. It's no fun. You do this and you'll see the time on your website goes up and the number of leads you're receiving off your website will drastically increase. So look further down the page and you see the vehicle in there and it says get our e-price. Even dealers that are selling one price, that are saying, I can't do it any cheaper, that's my price. We're still doing it because the consumer, think about, and by show of hands, you walk into a store, like a clothing store, and you see clearance rack. How many of you walk over to the clearance rack? All right, we got a lot of high rollers in here. So apparently a lot of you don't go to the clearance rack, but a lot of you do. We go to the clearance rack. We want to look for what's on sale, clearance, on sale, whatever it might be. So get our e-price, get me finance, more detail, or call. Really easy. Then you see the compare button. So now you can start to compare these. This one, do I want that? Do I want the new one? Do I want the used one? Do I want this used, that used? What do I want? Because where that's like, guys, did you just see that run across store? Teasing. What I'm talking about is we have a squirrel mentality. It's like, which one? And that's what we do. And that's what we'll do on the website. So let's move over. All right, look at this page. So here it is, here's the car, we got the price, it's nice and transparent, we got how much it's going to cost per month, and then we have something, I'll take it. I'll buy it, I'll take it, buy now, whatever you want to do. All right, let's be honest. Not a whole lot of people are actually putting the credit card information and buying it. In fact, the number is 0. But what it does do is when somebody clicks that button, I'll take it. We know their digital body language. We know their behavior. We know where they're at in the sales funnel. We know that they're pretty motivated, and we know who they are. And you can do that on your website. Look across the page. Look where it's got a picture right there, and it says, act fast, only 2 left. So how many of you guys in here have ever gone to a website to buy airline tickets and it says only 2 seats left at this price? Okay, keep your hand up if that motivates you to buy the ticket. So what's the difference between you and your customer with that vehicle? It's not a used car. And then you look over to the side and it says 13 others viewed this vehicle in the past hour. Oh, I'm not going to let that car be sold before I get it. That's the testosterone rolling down. You ain't selling that car for me. So it's these scarcity and abundance will create, either they're going to pick up the phone and call you and start asking about it. Hey, what do I car? Do I need to put it in? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? Because if you say that as a salesperson, oh, I got a lot of people looking at that car. They're going to go, liar? Salesperson? Yeah, right. But if you put it in writing on your website, well, it's true. You don't believe me? Go to eBay. eBay's doing this same practice. And I don't know if I got any eBay people in here like myself. You should have admitted that. You should have admitted it. You go to eBay, you buy a lot of stuff? I thought you and I could talk after a while, you know, that what do you buy on eBay or why buy on eBay? Anyway. So moving on down, notice the button is green. Get me financed. But then if you move all the way across, I mean, again, what you've got to do on your website, I said this morning, is you've got to duplicate the process that happens on the lot. Make sure it happens on your website. So here's all the things. Okay, think about it. Have you ever had anybody walk in and go, hey, do you have a brochure on that vehicle? Give you a brochure? What's the money? Do they want brochures? Yes, people want brochures. So you have it on your website. Add to your wish list. So now they put it in your wish list. With this, when somebody puts it in the wish list, we're allowing them to build their own garage. They get to their email address. They start saving cars in their virtual garage. We see what kind of cars they're saving. Now we're able to email them about specials and service offers. And if we sell that car, we're going to have, oops, that's sold. Here's another one you might like. This is the type of technology that's available to you. Payment calculator. Somebody clicks on the payment calculator, they go over another page, they start calculating payment. It's like, okay, guess what? We're interested in this car. We talked about it earlier this morning. Retargeting, which retargeting, we've all been exposed to it. That you go to a website, you leave that website, and you stop here everywhere you go. That's what you can do here. Check availability. That's a good one. That works. And then value my trade. How much is my car worth? So do we have a lot of call to actions on this page? All right, so by that, how many people in this room have these type of call to actions on their website? 2, 3, 4, 5? So I said we got a lot of opportunities, do we not?
Yes.
This is called exit intent technology. So we kind of said, all right, what happens on the lot? And then you guys tell me. Somebody comes in, they're interested in the car, they're talking, and I don't know, I can speak about it, I need to get the lights off on this, I need to do this, I need to do that, and then you bring the manager and try to close. Who does that? Who does that? Somebody does that? Yeah? We do that. We take the keys, throw it on the roof. So, along with the gorilla that's up there. So this is exit intent technology. Somebody is on the website, they're moving their mouse around, doing this, doing that, they're searching, they're scrolling, they're clicking, and they just don't find exactly what they want, or they're doing it at work and the boss walks in. And so when they go to leave the website, and that mouse movement shows the digital body language to leave the website, we do this pop-up banner. It's an exit intent technology. So based on the mouse movement, and we do this offer. And I mean, before you go, would you like to see our exclusive spring special? Yes, please email me the special. You'd be amazed about how many email addresses we get off of this and how many vehicles you sell off. We got all different types of messages. We've got things there. Would you like to save $500? Would you like to save $500 on your next vehicle purchase? And we've got, yes, I'd like to save $500. No, I like paying full price. And people go, yes. Unless they're really crazy, they go no, which is rare. So never before can dealers increase profits by being great in sharing it. I mean, we've heard about online reputation and all that, but let me show you a different way to kind of share it and to show that you're great. There's testimonials on your website. And I want you to think about testimonials. What's important in testimonials? So here's the question. Anybody in here bought a boat, an iPhone, a motorcycle, a GPS, something like that? Okay, am I going somewhere? All right, so you bought one of those items. So did you read reviews about the business, the dealership, or the company you bought it from? Or did you read reviews about the product you purchased? The product, exactly. But if you're going to go to a restaurant, you're going to go to a hotel, you're going to read the reviews because A, you don't want bad meal, food poisoning, B, you don't want death, right? So the reviews, and you notice the reviews right here are talking about the service department. That's what people are really interested in. If I go and get my vehicle fixed there, will they do it right the first time? Will they use the proper parts? Or are they going to use some cheap parts? Will they use the right oil? Or are they going to use something different? So by building this into your website platform, it will show what are people saying. If you notice, it's got a picture in there. It's got a picture of the service person because we like to do business with people we feel like we know. And that's what most websites are missing. I don't care where I'm at, US, Canada, it doesn't make a difference. Is it doesn't have that personal. It doesn't have that personal flair. We're not really showing the people. We're not really promoting the people of our team. Here's another one, videos. I can't talk enough about videos. I mean, think about your own habit, your own behavior. Would you rather watch a video or would you rather read paragraph after paragraph after paragraph? I mean, some people prefer to read and some people prefer to watch a video. The video is very easy to watch, and not only that, the video can't be faked. The written reviews can be faked. And not only that, video is so simple. I mean, we're doing video in two different ways right now. It's simple. It's simple, it's quick, it's easy. There's no reason you can't do it. And you'll be amazed, and because I've had a lot of people when we talk about that as dealers doing video, and they said, I don't know, I don't think our customers are going to want to do videos. And I said, all right, let me show you how to do it. And it's so funny that you'll see those customers, like, hey, can you do a video? And it's like, you know, I'm like right here, right there, and they're like, no, I don't want to do a video. No, I'm not interested in a video. I want to do a video. And then they do a video. So, I mean, don't believe what you tell you. They want to do a video. You just got to make it fun. All right, here's a Google study. I think this is really important because we talk a lot about price. So the study, this is about service. It says quality and trust trump price. Offers and deals are important to drivers for vehicle service, but even more important are great customer service. So 81% of drivers agree that quality service is more important than price. And I just read all that. I agree. I should definitely take one. But anyway. So think about that in your service line. So dealers can connect to shoppers 24/7. Hey, think about it. Never before could we do that. With online media, we can do that. With offline media, not so much. What do I mean by that? I showed this page earlier today. So you've got all the pages of content. Start developing content on your website. It's easy. Get the content onto your website. Next one, what about chat? This was last night. I think it was probably 4:30 in the morning. And the chat popped up. I mean, it's a managed chat, but you can see it's welcome to our live chat. It's a great way to generate leads, and it's low cost. The key to what I'm telling you here is you've got to start communicating with your customers the way they want to be communicated. Don't be like Don's sales managers that you'd send in a lead and they'd say, oh yeah, I got it, call me. No, I ask you specific questions. I'm trying to communicate via email. Communicate with me via email. I've got a hectic work schedule. I don't have time to call you. I don't want to call you. I don't want to get you on the phone. I want to go over email. That's what I want to do. Or maybe I want to text. I mean, think about it. How many of you guys text? The vast majority of us text. Why are we doing that with our customers? Never before, dealers can start selling aftermarket before the vehicle purchase is even made. We talk a lot about that. So the whole process, I mean, one of the ways you can start talking about aftermarket, I mean, somebody fills in a lead form, they fill in out, comes through your website, Start talking about your service offers. Start talking about your warranties. Start talking about those things early in the process. Make it part of the conversation. But a lot of times what happens, I mean, we want the salespeople to talk about it. The salespeople are not, I don't want to do that. I'm afraid they might change their mind and not buy the car from me. And it's like, okay, surrender here. Okay, here's the keys. You know, and that's the way to do it. You can't do that. Build the relationship and talk to them because they're going to get the vehicle service somewhere. Hey, case in point, we talked about Kristen in a Mini Cooper, but she needed a truck too. And so, true story. So I go buy this Dodge Ram. I was doing manually, so I was 37. And so I could read that truck and stuff to run. And so I go to pick up the truck on a Saturday, and I say, hey, I need rubber formats. And they go, oh, what's the parts? And I go, okay, good, let's get them. Well, I got the key, but if I go in there, my parts manager's going to be mad at me. You can't sell me any format? No? Okay, great. I also need like a little trailer hitch and all this stuff. Oh, I got that in parts too. Let me guess, I can't have it. No? Okay, great. I said, hey, I was reading about bed liners, and I seen this one little bed liner. It's a carpet, but it's indoor-outdoor carpet. It works perfectly. It's great for what I would need, so I don't slip and slide in there. I said, oh yeah, we got those. I said, let me guess in parts. So needless to say, I left, but he just had the opportunity to probably make, what, another $1,500 on me? But he didn't do it. Because he was in such a hurry to get me out the door because he was afraid I was going to change my mind. I mean, seriously, I'm going to change my mind. Didn't you see the smile I had? I was ready to make the wife happy. I mean, keep it real. So start talking about it. Make it part of the process. Make it part of the process in the emails that are going out. Put it on your website. Do videos about it. Start talking about it. Because if you're not doing aftermarket parts, you are going to lose the loyalty of that prospective customer. Because they're just going to go somewhere else and get it. Probably online. And just have it shipped to them. And there's been studies that have shown that if you start talking about that and you start selling accessories, that it's going to make a big difference. And I think I'm right on time. Okay, cool. Where's that clock? It's my mail. So here it is. Here's the process to keep in contact with them. This is email. This is a follow-up email and mobile marketing. All the way through. So never before could dealers build strong loyalty and profits. Here's a study. 43% of drivers perform a search online on their phone when deciding to take their vehicle for service. We call it the WebMD. They want to know what the problem's going to be at a car before they get there. And then this is really cool. This is what we did with Don. It's a mobile app, and we're able to pinpoint and target different places. Like, for example, if somebody drives past Walmart, we can send a push notification to their mobile device and go, hey, you need tires? Based on the mileage of their car. All technology new. Never before could dealers understand what motivates specific individual clients. Again, I talked about this morning. This is Google Analytics. You can see who's your technophiles, your audio enthusiasts, movie buffers, shutter bugs, and so on. If you want this, just email me. I'll tell you how to get this free. This is inbound marketing. This tracks all the behavior on the website. Rob Oxendale, we see all the emails, how he's visited the website, and we've also connected with him on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, because he has those profiles set up. He's got a lead score of 260. He's looked at 17 pages on our website. So now we're able to email him specific to his digital body language. So never before can dealers get dealers can create word of mouth 10 times faster and easier. Social media. Here's Ryan, $100 giveaway. People are talking about it. You've seen the post. And now, this is what I want you guys to do. Starting today, don't ever refer to them as customers again. They're your clients. Doctor has clients, attorney has clients, an accountant has clients, even a hairdresser has clients. I think we're in an industry that we should refer to them as clients because they trust you, you're a resource, they're making a large purchase. We'll leave the customers to the other dealers, we'll leave customers to Walmart. So who's going to start calling them clients? One or two? Okay. So remember Don? This is all about Don. So Don got his dream He's featured on the cover of Auto Dealer Monthly for a fixed ops success. And here he is again, and we showed some analytics and all that stuff. He went to $3.2 million gross profit. He was $746,000. His fixed coverage was 137%. So he didn't have to sell a car to make money. He was making 37% profit. So could he really sell some cars and move with some crazy prices? Yeah. In fact, out of those 85 stores, when he started with the Hendrick organization, this store was 85. When he finished, he was #1 in the company. Since he's left that position, because he's the general manager, and he bought his own dealer group now, because where he wanted to make $500,000, he made $642,000. And that was all because of the process and being willing to change. Thank you, guys.
Questions.
Yes. Get your phone out, connect with me on Facebook.
Yeah.
Social media prostitute here.
So, any questions for Paul? This is like one or two questions. I was thinking about size, Paul, also because in Denmark we see a consolidation going on in the industry, and I believe you experience the same thing in the US. And we also talked about that like earlier today. How can these things that you talk about help maybe smaller car dealers remain independent?
What we've seen over the years, though, the independent dealers, the dealers that were small, they didn't get bought out if they didn't want to be bought out. The only time they got bought out was when they said, I'm tired, I don't want to change, I don't want to learn, I don't want to do any more processes, and they just kind of threw in the towel, so that's it, I'm done. I mean, granted, 2008, there was issues with the manufacturing, but today they're not getting bought out unless somebody comes through. I mean, there was one of the Toyota dealers that was in Greenville, South Carolina, and one of the auto groups came in and said, hey, we'd like to buy you guys and give you $300 million. And they said, all right, I'll see that. But that's what's happening. So it's all about the process. You don't have to sell if you don't want to, and you've got unlimited opportunity to make as much money as you want.
Yeah, we have a person down here. She's Mike coming over.
Thank you very much. I'm Finland from the Automotive Management Program. We also work out the processes, but how do you map these processes and how do you make that work?
Everything needs a process. I mean, when somebody comes into the service lane, what is the process? And so many times I've seen this, not in the service lane, but when lead comes in, everything needs a process, and you have to map that process out. But you have to constantly teach and train and teach and train. And about the time you've got everybody trained and they're doing that process, this is what I've seen. Like, okay, my job's done, you go away, you come back 2 weeks later, it's like, that's the process. That process has got to be part of the culture, and you can't stop. And you've got to hold people accountable. The way you hold people accountable is we talk about key performance indicators. How are you measuring them, and are you measuring them daily? Because people come to work every single day, and they want to be successful. People don't come to work going, I want to be a failure. That doesn't happen. So if our managers have the key performance indicators of how we're measuring like response time, you received this many leads, this is what happened, this was your response time, this is how many people come over to an appointment, this is how many people actually showed up, this is how many people purchased. And if you're measuring those numbers on a daily effort, and you're talking about it, and you're using that as a coaching tool, training tool, then you will get the people to understand the process. So, but again, everything needs a process. You need to look at everything. And we do webinars. So guys, definitely connect with me on Facebook, because we do what's called Think Tank Tuesday. Anybody get that in here? Honestly? So we do a weekly video podcast on Tuesday and one on Friday. It's a short video. So you'll see that, just sign up for it. You'll see us talk about it on Facebook. In the video, we talk about process, we talk about marketing, we talk about different things for sales. So we get a lot of resources, a lot of free resources.
And you can also hook up with Paul on the rooftop terrace in about 10 minutes, I would assume. Yes. So please go through there if you have any more questions, and then say thank you to Paul. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Så er det nok nogle tilbage, op på scenen, inden at vi gør det, så tænker jeg, om der er noget frisk på, hvad der er, jeg kører, fordi det var det, vi ikke havde nået. Og komme forbi med Cargo, Tesla, Enki og EXP. Nogle friske bud? Nej. Altså, for det er lidt forspor, det er ikke sådan særligt fra stort. Ja, det er godt, hvis vi kan.
Yes, jeg tror på, at du har en Mini Cooper og en Audi.
Jeg er ansat i Danmarks Radio, det skal vi have lagt i klædet inden.